Alright guys, welcome back to another video today on the Ghost Flash channel. Today is an exciting video, ladies and gentlemen. After 3 years of me owning a turbo kit for my Mazda Miata, guys, we are finally putting it in 3 years later of me holding on to this very turbo kit. Let me go ahead and show you guys. So I got this turbo kit over 3 years ago from a guy up in Auburn who actually totaled his Miata. He rolled it canyon driving. So he sold me a kit. It was just a turbo, manifold, and downpipe, as you can see right there. And over the years, I've been piecing all the pieces together that I'm going to need. This is actually my intercooler setup from my 2010 Genesis Coupe. My first intercooler setup. I'm on my third because the car is too low, so it's scraped. So that's where that came from. This is also stuff that I've been purchasing. I got injectors. I believe these are RX-8 injectors. I got a boost controller. I got a boost gauge. And then down here, I believe this is either an RX-8 fuel pump or a Mazda Speed Miata fuel pump. I don't remember. I got a sandwich plate, miscellaneous other gauges that I've had over time, another boost gauge. I don't remember what this is. Could be oil temp or pressure, one of the two. I forget, one of the two. Oil filter, and you guys are going to see why I have a a Vortec FMU. You guys will see why I have that. I also have an AEM airflow ratio gauge, as well as an HKS filter. I also got this old blue filter, as well as down here I got a nice fancy cool looking Grady purple filter. I'm probably gonna use the purple one, but I originally was gonna use the HKS, and this was the one that I used way years ago. This is also for my Genesis Coupe. I'm gonna see if I can utilize this build to run a blow-off valve as well in this setup, and that's gonna be that entire setup. Let me go ahead and bring you guys over here now. That is the downpipe. The downpipe was already made for this specific at-home kit that somebody made. I don't think it's an actual obvious kit, judging by the welds, but whoever made it obviously did a pretty dang good job. It's got two bung holes. I believe what the dude told me, this is a Mitsubishi Turbo. I believe he said from an Evo 8 or a 9. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. But the car is already in the air. Oh, I also picked up this off Marketplace. This is an intercooler pipe that's gonna be on this side for that piece off the intake manifold. So put this back over there, bring you guys over here. So right now I'm mocking up the intercooler. Shout out to my boy Travis, my coworker. He's essentially my second father at work. So he gifted me this intercooler, which is pretty cool. This was for a boosted Civic that he was building way back in the day, but then he had kids and then never ended up finishing the build, and he passed it on to me. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thrown in the Miata today. I just mocked up making this bracket. I had these two brackets on both sides just sitting in my spare bracket drawers, and I didn't need to put these because obviously it looked like this, but I put these over here so it had more of a surface to sit on, so it wasn't exactly just relying on this and snapping a hole in the near future. So this is 1/2" steel, both these brackets, so those are not going to be bent, broke, or snap at any time. And this is the bar that came with the intercooler setup that I had years ago, which I'm now utilizing, which also came off the Genesis Coupe. And so the bracket, after making it and everything, it actually lines up perfectly. So I'm gonna bolt it to where the AC actually lines up on both sides. The only thing that the intercooler does sit a little bit lower, but I'm not too concerned about that because the bumper on the Miata sits extremely high. When I have my lip and everything, it should be chilling. So I got the intercooler already bolted on, as you guys can see right there. Looking good. It's at the lowest point of the car, unfortunately, but it's like 1/2 inch lower than the subframe, which is going to be a big deal because my lip is going to be about the same height, so it should be chilling. Now later on, yeah, it should be chilling. So right now we're working on this side of the intercooler pipe, and we got that one on right now. This is going to be the hard side where the turbo is going to be. I didn't put the turbo in just yet because, as you guys can see, there's a lot of stuff in the way. I'm going to see if I can even get anything to work and come up this way before I can remotely think about moving the airbox and the header. So I'm gonna focus on this side first, then we're gonna move to this side and we'll see how that goes. So quick update, the intake side is officially all the way done, as you guys can see. Don't mind the fitment right here. I'm just gonna have to cut on top right here just to make it a tad bit shorter, and it'll fit literally perfect. The 2010 Genesis Coupe, the actual intake side, does fit on the intake side of the Miata if you are using this pipe, and a generic just core. Like, it actually seems like it's low-key made for the Genesis Coupe and the Miata. It's kind of insane. And now I'm working on the other side right now. As you guys can see, I'm still using the Genesis piping. This one loops straight up, tucks up so high up out of the way, and then I got a 90-degree elbow, which comes out right here. In order to be able to have this much access while having power steering and AC, you have to take the bolt out right here, loosen this, which is a 7/8, rotate it out of the way, tighten that back up, and this will just look janky. And then you have to cut off part of the fan right down there, one of these little support blades. You got to cut off the one down there. And then you have just a tiny bit of space to be able to fish an intercooler pipe up there and into your turbo if you want to keep AC power steering. So I'm working with these two pipes left from the Genesis coupe. This one I feel like is gonna work perfectly fine. This one, as you guys can see, I tried to repair it because this is the pipe that I rubbed a hole in. I'm actually gonna cut it right before I repaired it, cut it off right here, utilize this pretty much kind of straight and angle, so hopefully when it goes in it'll kind of angle it towards the turbo. So I'm gonna cut this side off, cut this part off, junk this section because this section is unusable. Utilize, see what I can do with these two sections right here and this pipe. Alright, so quick update guys, I'm done for the night. It is now 11 o'clock. It has been about 3 hours or so, and we got this side entirely done. Obviously I gotta figure out routing this hose to this side, and then that's gonna be easy, hose to there. And as you guys see underneath, everything is all together. It's all mounted up, looking nice, looking nice. This side is all done. Don't make fun of my janky coupler. That's just temporary. I gotta buy a new one. That's just for mock-up because I'm gonna end up pulling all this stuff off because the piping is actually kind of dirty. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit and maybe paint it. And then we got plenty of clearance between the pulleys on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and make a bracket to come off of the radiator support or somewhere up top to hold the pipe to make sure it doesn't ever actually move under boost and hit the pulley. And then we got the turbo temporarily mounted up with one stud. We got the downpipe mounted up with 2 bolts, as well as it running all the way to the exhaust down here, which you guys probably can't. There you go. Downpipe is already all connected underneath as well. So the only thing I have left to do is figure out a hose or a tube from here to here. I already know where the return's gonna go and the feed, because since this kit was already mocked up in someone else's car or on someone else's car, I know exactly where his feed and drain that he tapped into the block, so I'm not gonna actually have to tap into the oil pan. So this will be pretty easy. So, and then once I get everything mocked up and everything is in its final form, I'm gonna rip everything back out, probably paint the turbo, definitely paint the downpipe because it's looking ugly, paint some of the intercooler piping, or at least clean it up because it's kind of dirty, before I go ahead and finish everything off. That's gonna go ahead and do it for this episode guys. I'm not gonna do it all in one whole video, so this is gonna be part 1 of the turbocharging my 93 Mazda Miata. If you guys like and want to follow the series, go ahead and drop a like, a comment, and subscribe, so that way you guys can see the next post on the Miata part 2 for the turbo series. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe like I just said, and I'll catch you guys in the next Ghost Flash video.